The world of Hollow Knight contains many mystical elements, one of them being the frequent appearance of magical seals. These seals are meant to contain things that are intended to remain a secret, but the seals themselves have their own secrets, such as how they're created and just how exactly they work. It seems that the knowledge of seals exists in multiple civilizations and cultures, as it can be found in the creations of the Pale Court, the inhabitants of Deep Nest, the Grimm Troop, the ancient civilization in the Abyss, and the weavers who are from outside Hallownest. Seals that are not immediately visible can usually be revealed by striking with the nail or with spells, the latter suggesting a connection between the creation of seals and the element of soul. Other seals can be revealed with the dream nail, likely constructed with the help of essence. Some of those seals can only be broken through with the power of the awoken dream nail. The appearance of each individual seal consists of intricate shapes, each connected to some aspect of what the seal contains. Using the seal on the door of the Black Egg as an example, there are spiked crown-like shapes to represent the Pale King, root-like shapes for the White Lady, a circular sun-like shape for the Radiance, and what appears to be the shape of the Hollow Knight's shell. All of these together represent the different aspects of the vessel as well as the entity held captive inside them. Now let's examine each individual seal in the order that most likely responds to when the knight encounters them. At the very beginning of the game, the knight can enter the Black Egg Temple and see the sealed door. The dreamer's masks are immediately visible, but the use of spells will reveal the other layer mentioned a moment ago. In the Hollow Knight ending of the game, that seal appears to recreate itself in the same shape as before it was broken, and of course in the sealed siblings ending, the shape of Hornet's head is outwardly visible. Later on, when the knight steps in front of the dreamer's shrine in the resting grounds, they become surrounded by a seal which appears to be made from solidified essence. The dream realm can be layered on top of the physical world, as in this case, and once the dreamers trap the knight fully within the dream realm by making them fall asleep, only the dream nail can be used from within to set them free. When the knight comes across the dreamers' physical bodies, seals upon them become visible if the knight strikes using their nail. These seals were likely put in place to prevent the dreamers' bodies from being disturbed, as that would likely cause them to wake up and thus break the seals. The knight can bypass these seals using the dream nail, and like the dream that they were previously trapped inside of, the seals can only be broken from within the dream. When the knight approaches the dreamers inside the dream realm, they appear to be surrounded by circular seals made out of essence, which always fall away as the knight gets closer, allowing the knight to strike at their form and absorb their essence until the dream falls apart. The Beast's Den in Deep Nest houses a large structure which could either be a corpse or a statue. Using a spell on the object reveals a protective seal around it. In the Weaver's Den, also in Deep Nest, a hidden area contains what appears to be a partially constructed seal made from silk. It appears to be glowing as if with soul, and it resembles the shape of the seal on the door to the Black Egg, which was possibly created by the weavers. In the ancient basin, the King's Mold corpse in the palace grounds is also surrounded by a circular seal composed of essence, which can be seen if the knight strikes the King's Mold with the unawoken dream nail. Also in the ancient basin, the entrance to the abyss has a seal whose details are revealed when the knight aims a spell at it, and the seal can only be broken by the King's brand, after which it appears to dissolve into white soul particles. In order to obtain the King's brand, the knight must enter the cast-off shell. At the center of the shell is an egg-like structure which is revealed to have a seal around it when the knight approaches. This seal may have formed on its own when the worm shed its shell, or it could have been placed there intentionally by the Pale King, and its purpose is likely to prevent those without a connection to the worm or the king from being branded. Deep within the abyss, the Shade Beast has a seal around its head revealed when attempting to use the unawoken dream nail, and able to be broken through in order to read its thoughts using the awoken dream nail. In the Queen's Gardens, the White Lady has imprisoned herself within her hut-like structure, and using a spell near her reveals a seal around her, likely a component of her self-imprisonment along with the wrappings around her body. A hidden area within the Grimm Troop's tent houses a device which appears to be a navigational tool. Using a spell near it reveals that it is surrounded by a seal the same red color as Nightmare Essence. Additionally, attempting to dream nail the sleeping Troop Master Grimm without the Grimm child equipped reveals a seal around his body which appears to be composed of Nightmare Essence. The seals used by the troops stand out because they are red as opposed to all other seals which appear white. The interior of the black egg has many visible seals along the walls and floor, as well as on the chains and armor surrounding the Hollow Knight. When the knight enters the chamber housing the Hollow Knight, a seal-like structure appears in the doorway, preventing exit. The seals on the chains and armor are made visible by striking them with a nail, and breaking the chains in turn breaks those seals. In the Hollow Knight and Sealed Siblings endings, once the knight has absorbed the infection, the seals on the chains reform themselves and eventually cover the knight's body before the outer door of the black egg also reseals itself. Seals can also manifest within dreams. The Pure Vessel's arena in Godhome features similar seals to those inside the black egg. A notable appearance of a seal within the dream realm is the Seal of Binding at the entrance to the Path of Pain within the White Palace, the hunter's journal entry for which is gained upon completing the challenge. A similarly shaped seal appears in the arena with the two king's molds at the end of the path, as well as a similar door-blocking structure to the one in the Hollow Knight's arena, which disappears once the king's molds are defeated. Finally, in the Silksong trailer, the cage in which Hornet is imprisoned and transported by her captors appears to be surrounded by a seal. When a small white fly lands on top of the cage, the seal falls away long enough for Hornet to escape the cage. Back to the Seal of Binding, the Hunter's Journal describes it as an intricate seal of ancient design which is used to contain a powerful force or preserve something of great importance. The shape of the seal does somewhat resemble the one on the door to the black egg, which does aid in containing a powerful force, that being the radiance and the infection. The second function of such a seal, to preserve something of great importance, appears to be the purpose of the Seal of Binding in the Path of Pain. It seems to have been intentionally placed there, along with the obstacle course in the king's molds, to guard the memory of the Pale King connecting with the Pure Vessel, likely to prevent the memory from ever being discovered. By observing every seal in the game, we can see some features that they all have in common. The purpose of seals is to either contain, block access to, prevent damage to, or otherwise preserve whatever the seal is placed upon. Each individual seal has a unique, intricate design. They can be designed by different creatures, although it is unclear whether an entity with special abilities must be the one to activate the seal. It seems that all seals involve soul, dream essence, or both. The troops likely involve Nightmare Essence. Seals can be revealed or broken through using different means depending on the nature of the seal. One thing that all seals definitely contain is a lot of hidden lore. So what do you think? Do you agree with my speculations about seals and Hollow Knight? Is there anything I missed? Let me know in the comments. Thank you for watching this video. I've got plenty more Hollow Knight lore videos on this channel, so be sure to check those out and subscribe for more. I hope you have a great day, and I'll see you next time.